Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha, kripa sindhubhya evacha, patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। Dear devotees, let us continue our study of Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam. And before that, let us recite the memorization verses for module, I think, 6. Vidya tapo vittavapurvaya kulaihi satam gunaishadbhirasattametareihi smrito hatayam bhritamana durdrishaha स्तब्धा न पश्यन्ति हि धाम भूयसाम् गुणाधिकान् मुदं लिप्सेदनुक्रोशं गुणाधमात् मैत्रीं समानादन्विच्छेन्न तापयेत् अभिभूयते योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्ताम् सञ्जीवयत् अखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम् भक्तिं मुहुः प्रवहतां त्वयि मे प्रसङ्गो भूयादनन्तमहताममलाशयानाम् येनाञ्जसोल्बणमुरुव्यसनं भवाब्धिं नेष्ये भवद्गुणकथामृतपानमत्तः। हरे कृष्ण हम्म, कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Dear devotees, we are studying Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 4. In the previous class, we read text 1, Maitreya Uvacha, Etavaduktvā virarama Shankaraha Patyanganaśam hi ubhayatra chintayan suridridikshu Parishankita bhava nishkramati nirvishati vidhasasa. The sage Maitreya Muni said to Mahatma Vidur, Lord Shiva was silent after speaking to Sati, seeing her between decisions. Sati was very much anxious to see her relatives at her father's house, but at the same time, she was afraid of Lord Shiva's warning. Her mind unsettled, she moved in and out of the room as a swing moves this way and that. Sripad Maitreya Muni is narrating this pastime to Shri Vidurji and explaining that one day Shri Sati saw different devatas traveling to her father's house for festivities, for some yajna. And naturally, she desired to go as well. However, Lord Shiva was not in favor. So she gave her arguments to Lord Shiva, or she gave her reasoning to Lord Shiva to convince Lord Shiva to go for the festivities or at least allow her to go. But Lord Shiva forbade her and warned her that it is not appropriate to go when you have not been invited to someone who envies you. And Lord Shiva envies me, you are my Ardhangini. Daksha envies me, Lord Shiva said. Daksha envies me. And oh Shri Sati Devi, because you are my Ardhangini, if you go there, even though you are the daughter of Daksha Prajapati, he will only see you as my wife. And he is not going to treat you with love and respect. He will humiliate you. And for a respectable person like you, humiliation will be equivalent to death. So please don't go. After this, Sati was in a dilemma. In verse 1, Sati was in a dilemma. Despite receiving instructions from Lord Shiva, Shri Sati Devi could not make up her mind. And she was in a dilemma. Lord Shiva saw that she is in a dilemma, and therefore he became silent. He became silent. Sati was walking in and out of the room, not able to decide what to do. Text 2. Suridriksha प्रतिघात दुर्मनाः स्नेहादृतत् अश्रुकलातिविह्वला भवं भवान् अप्रति पुरुषं रुषा प्रधाक्षति वै क्षतजातवेपथु. Shri Sati Devi felt very sorry at being forbidden to go see her relatives at her father's house. Surid Dirdriksha. She wanted to see her Surids, her relatives, her friends, her sisters. But Lord Shiva did not give her permission. Pratighat. He said, no, don't go. And therefore, Durmanah. She was sad. She was feeling sad. And due to affection for her relatives, Shri Sati Devi began to cry. Tears fell from her eyes. Rudat Ashru. Ashrukala. Drops of tears came in her eyes. Rudati. She was crying. Ati Vivhala. She was very much afflicted. Because Bhavam, Bhavani, Bhavam, Lord Shiva, had forbidden Bhavani from Surid Dirdriksha, from having darshan, meeting her other relatives. She started crying. And then, shaking very much afflicted, she looked at her husband. Lord Shiva is described here as uncommon husband. Uncommon. Lord Shiva is very great personality. Lord Shiva, she started looking at Lord Shiva as if she were going to blast him with her vision. Pradhakshati iva aikshata. Aikshata means through her glance, through her looks, her eyes, as if she was, iva means as if, pradhakshati, as if she was going to blast Lord Shiva, which means she got angry at Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva is aprati purusham. He is without equal or rival. Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is a unique tattva, Rudra tattva. There is Vishnu tattva, there is Rudra tattva, there is Jiva tattva. Lord Shiva is a special tattva in himself. Therefore, he is aprati purusham. He is without any equal. But towards such a husband, such an uncommon husband, such a powerful, exalted, great husband, Rusha. Rusha. Shri Sati Devi got angry. This is very regrettable to become angry at such a great, faultless personality. But she got angry. Shri Sati Devi got angry, Rusha, with Bhavam, Lord Shiva, who is called Bhava, simply because he did not grant her permission to go to her father's house for the festivities. And he had good reason, because the father, Daksha, had insulted son in law, Lord Shiva, and he continued to have envy towards them. He did not even invite them for the yajna. Therefore, Lord Shiva's opinion was that Shri Sati Devi, his Ardhangini, his better half, should not go. Purport. The word Aprati Purusham used in this verse means one who has no equal. Aprati Purusham, one who has no equal. Lord Shiva has no equal in the material world in regard to equality towards everyone. His wife Sati knew that her husband was equal towards everyone. So why in this case he was so unkind and not allowing to go? So Lord Shiva is a great person, and great people, they have equal vision. They don't discriminate based on material considerations. Samoham sarvabhuteshu. They have that quality of Krishna, of being equal to everyone. Pandita Samadarshana, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne, Brahmane Gavi Hastini, Suni Chaiva, Shob Pakechava, Pandita Samadarshana. Shwa Pakecha, Pandita Samadarshana. A Pandit sees everyone with equal vision. So why you are not seeing with equal vision? Why you are seeing my father as faulty? You should have equal vision. You are a great person. So she was saying. Another meaning of the word apratipurusha is personality who has no rival. Since Lord Shiva could not be persuaded to give her permission, Sati took shelter of a woman's last weapon, weeping. Prabhupada says, woman's last weapon is crying, weeping. Haribol. Which forces a husband to agree to the proposal of his wife. Hare Krishna. Some things don't change. 3. Text 3. ततो विनिश्वस्य सती विहाय तं शोकेन रोषेण च दूयतारिदा पित्रोरगात्स्त्रेण विमूढधीर्गृहान् प्रेम्णात्मनो योरिधम् अदात् सतां प्रियः. Translation. Thereafter, Shri Sati Devi left her husband Lord Shiva, who had given her half his body, Ardhangini, due to affection. Due to her affection for her family, other family members, she went. Breathing very heavily because of anger and bereavement, she went to the house of her father. Hare Krishna. Pitro Agat. She went to her Pitro. She went to her father, Daksha Prajapati. Duyata. Hrida. Her heart was afflicted. By what? Shokena Roshena. With shok, bereavement, lamentation, sorrow, and rosh, anger. Shokena Roshena. Vimudadhi. Her intelligence was bewildered because of intense attachment to her family members. Instead, she should have been attached to Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu, the greatest devotee, Lord Shiva. But she was attached to her husband, sisters, family members, mother. Breathing very heavily because of anger and bereavement, Shokena Roshena, she went to the house of her father. This less intelligent act was due to her being a weak woman. Being a weak woman. Strayana Vimudadhi. Women are generally more emotional than men. This can be good and this can be not so good. It can be good, this bhavukta is good if it is applied to Shri Krishna and his devotees. Nigama kalpataror galitam phalam shukamukhad amrita drava samyutam पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः. This bhavukta can be used in relationship to Krishna. Then the sentimental, emotional nature of a woman can be put to good use. Aham sarvasya prabhavah mata sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. So bhav is good. Bhavukta is good if it is used in Krishna bhakti. But when that same bhavukta is used, applied, invested in material things, it becomes a cause of bondage and suffering. Crying to get material things from one's husband is not good. Shri Sati Devi cried to get what she wanted. The gopis also cried. Rurudu Suswaram Rajan. But Krishna Darshan Lalasa. It was for Krishna Darshan. You see, the feminine nature of a woman can be either used in the wake of the Vraj gopis or it can be used how it is used in the material world. So, women being emotional can be a great asset in Krishna consciousness, and therefore we see in our Bhakti Vaibhava there are more women. Generally, there are more Mataji devotees. Vaishnavis are more than the Prabhus, Vaishnavas. But when this sentimentalism, emotional nature is used for material things, then it becomes a cause of bondage. Yesterday, I was listening to one lecture. It was the last day of Bhishma Panchak. I was listening to a lecture of His Holiness Shri Srimad Radha Govinda Das Goswami Maharaj on Bhishma Panchak. And Srila Radha Govinda Das Goswami Maharaj was explaining how we should not be attached to material things. And gave an example that once हम गांव गए थे, हमारी बुआ से मिलने गए, तो हमने बुआ से कहा थोड़ा राम राम किया करो, थोड़ा भगवान नाम लिया करो. तो उसने कहा क्या करूं, मेरी तो सारी आसक्ति मेरे बच्चों में है, मेरे परिवार में है. So Srila Radha Govind Maharaj replied that यदि आप घर परिवार वालों में इतने आसक्त रहोगे, राम राम नहीं करोगे, तो इसी घर में कोई बिल्ली या कुत्ता बन के या कोई कीट बन के आपको जन्म लेना पड़ेगा. सो श्री राधा गोविंद महाराज बुआ सेड, हाँ वो तो बहुत अच्छा होगा, इसी घर में रहूंगी तो अपने बच्चों को देखूंगी. नहीं, पर आप जब कुत्ता बिल्ली या कोई कीट के रूप में जन्म लोगी तो आपको स्मरण नहीं रहेगा कि ये मेरे बेटे हैं, ये मेरा बेटा है, ये मेरी बहू है, ये मेरे पोते हैं. और उन्हें भी स्मरण नहीं रहेगा कि ये हमारी माँ है. वो मारेंगे आपको. कोई बात नहीं, मारेंगे तो ठीक, कम से कम मेरे बच्चे के साथ तो रहूंगी, मेरे बच्चे को तो देखूंगी, मेरे बेटे को तो देखूंगी. ऐसी इतनी अटैचमेंट शी वाज टेलिंग श्री राधा गोविंद महाराज. सो इफ अ वुमन uses her emotional nature in this way to become attached, janasya mohoyam aham mameti, then it becomes very bad. It becomes a vice. It becomes entanglement in this material world and becomes a cause of suffering. But if that same bhavukta is used for Shri Krishna, like the gopis did, gopis sang the Gopi Geet out of deep emotions. Gopis sang the Venu Geet out of deep emotions. So emotions are not bad, but emotions should be applied in the service of Shri Krishna. That is the point. Unfortunately, here, Shri Sati Devi has very mercifully become an example for us to learn that such attachment is not good. She is leaving her husband, Lord Shiva, to go and attend some festivities in her father's house, who is a Vaishnava Pradhi. We should not associate with Vaishnava Pradhis. Lord Sri Ramachandra also was sent by Sri Sita Devi. Get that deer for me. Hare Krishna. She has Ram. She has Sri Ram with her, but she is desiring the deer. Again, Sri Sita Devi is teaching us by her example that we should not send Ram away to procure material things. Instead, we should keep Sri Ram with us and serve. So here Sri Sati Devi actually, after much deliberation, much back and forth, she resolved the dilemma by deciding to disobey Lord Shiva and go and attend the festivities in her father Daksha's house as an uninvited guest. Hare Krishna. When we leave the shelter of Sri Guru and Krishna and go to enjoy material things, material sense gratification that we are not supposed to, then that is also suicidal. That is also very harmful for our bhakti. I'll read the translation again. Thereafter, Sri Sati Devi left her husband Lord Shiva, who had given her half his body due to affection. Breathing very heavily because of anger and bereavement, she went to the house of her father. This less intelligent act was due to her being a weak woman. प्रेमणा आत्मनः यह अर्धम adat means to give. Adat, he gave. Atmanah ardham, his half body he had given to Sri Sati Devi. Premna, because of love, affection. And after Lord Shiva had done so much for Sri Sati Devi, Sati Devi had the wrong judgment of leaving such a husband as Lord Shiva and going for some festivities. Purport. Srila Prabhupada says, according to Vedic conception of family life, the husband gives half his body to the wife and the wife gives half her body to the husband. In other words, a husband without a wife and a wife without a husband, incomplete. Incomplete. Vedic marital relationship existed between Lord Shiva and Sri Sati Devi. But sometimes, due to weakness, a woman becomes very much attracted by the members of her father's house. Mera maika, maza maher. It's very attached to her father's house. And this happened to Sri Sati Devi. In this verse, it is specifically mentioned that Sri Sati Devi wanted to leave such a great husband as Lord Shiva because of her womanly weakness. Strayana vimudha dhihi. Strayana means three. By her womanly nature, vimudha dhihi, she became bewildered, and pitro agat, she went to her father. Even though Atmana Ardham Adat. Even though Lord Shiva gave half his body to her, but she left her husband, Lord Shiva, and went to Daksha's program. Sometimes there may be misunderstandings between husband and wife, as found even in such an elevated family relationship as that of Sri Sati Devi and Lord Sri Shiva. But a wife should not leave her husband's protection because of such a misunderstanding. If she does so, it is understood to be her womanly weakness. Even though it may appear as strong woman, she left, but it is weakness. It is because of some material attachments. In this regard, Srila Prabhupada used to give an example of Gandhiji. How many of you know that example? Prabhupada tells. Gandhiji and his wife. I forgot the name of Gandhiji's wife. But once Gandhiji and his wife had fight, argument, not physical fight, verbal argument. And Gandhiji lost his temper And in anger, he said, "Out of my house, out of my house. Leave, leave, immediately go." So Gandhiri's wife, Gandhiji just opened the door and told her, "Out, out, out, go out, go away." So she went outside. Gandhiji slammed the door shut. After some time, when his anger had abated, he went back and opened the door to see where she has gone, and she was just sitting there at the doorstep. So Gandhiji said, "Okay, now come on in." And she got up and came inside. And then they were again back to normal husband and wife. Srila Prabhupada tells this apparently mundane story to tell that family relationships are very important, and sometimes there are disagreements, there are differences of opinion, but that doesn't mean that mm, love at first sight and divorce at first fight. That should not happen. These are sacred relationships. Text 4. तामन्वगच्छन् द्रुतविक्रमां सतीम् एकां त्रिनेत्रानुचरा सहस्रशः सपार्षदयक्षामणिमं मदादया पुरोवृषेन्द्रास्तरसा गतव्यथाः. When they saw Sri Sati Devi leaving alone very quickly in a haste, rapidly, thousands, sahasrashah, sa parshada, yaksha, thousands of Lord Shiva's disciples headed by Manimat Mad Adayah, Maniman and Mad, thousands of such followers, disciples of Lord Shiva, quickly followed behind Sati Devi with his bull Nandi in front and accompanied by the Yakshas. Yakshas are also very powerful. And who were they? Trinetra Anuchara. They were Anuchar, they were followers of Trinetra. Trinetra, Trilochan, these are names of Lord Shiva. He has three eyes. They started following Sati Devi. Our master's wife is going. Sri Sati Devi is going without her husband, without permission. Something untoward may happen. We have to give protection. They quickly followed her. And then Nandi, by the Nandi bull, also accompanied. He was in front, and all the yakshas went with them. This is a sign of respect, loyalty, and affection. They wanted to make sure that nothing inauspicious happens to Lord Shiva's wife, our master's wife. So they went. Purport. Sati was going very fast so that she might not be checked by her husband, but she was immediately followed by many thousands of disciples of Lord Shiva, headed by Yakshas, Maniman, and Mad. So this is important. This is a sign of affection and love. We don't leave them alone. Sati left Lord Shiva, but Lord Shiva's followers did not. This is how our position is. We have left Sri Krishna and come to this material world. But Sri Krishna's devotees, Sri Krishna Anuchar, they come in this material world as Guru, Sri Guru, to reclaim us, to save us. So it's very beautiful. Text 5. Tam Sharika Kanduka Darpanambuja Shvetata Patra Vyajana Shragadhibhihi Gitayanayr Dundubi Shankhavenubhir Vrishendram Aropya Vitankitayayu. The disciples of Shiva arranged for Sati to be seated on the back of a bull and gave her the bird which was her pet. She bore a lotus flower, a mirror, and all such paraphernalia for her enjoyment, and covered her with a great canopy. Followed by a singing party with drums, conch shells, bugles, the entire procession was as pompous as a royal parade. So a description of Sri Sati Devi is given, how she was riding on the bull carrier Nandi, how she was holding lotus, and different descriptions are there. There was a party singing, playing drums, musical instruments, following her. Everything looked very royal. Text 6. Abrahma घोषो जितयज्ञवैषसं विप्रर्षि जुष्टं विबुधैश्च सर्वशः मृद्दारयः काञ्चनदर्भचर्मभिर्निसृष्ट भाण्डं यजनं समाविशत्. Sri Sati Devi then reached her father's house where the sacrifice was being performed and entered the arena where everyone was chanting the Vedic hymns. Sati Devi arrives. The great sages, Brahmanas, and demigods were all assembled there, and there were many sacrificial animals as well as pots made of clay, stone, gold, grass, skin, which were all requisite for the sacrifice. Hare Krishna. So, lot of paraphernalia was there for sacrifice. Purport. When learned sages and Brahmanas assembled to chant Vedic mantras, some of them also engage in arguing about the conclusion of the scriptures. Tarkic Brahman. Some of the sages and Brahmanas were arguing, and some of them were transcendental, and some of them were chanting the Vedic mantras, so the whole atmosphere was surcharged with transcendental vibration. This is the situation where Sri Raghunath Bhatt Goswami is going to enter the scene. Before that, Srila Prabhupada writes in the second purport. Here, in the first paragraph of the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, this transcendental sound vibration has been simplified in the transcendental vibration Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Another significant point in this verse is that there were animals for sacrifice. That these animals were meant for sacrifice does not mean that they were meant to be killed. The great sages and realized souls assembled were performing yajnas and their realization was tested by animal sacrifice. This is we all know. The animal sacrifice used to happen, but that was to demonstrate the potency of the mantras. Immediately that animal would get a Nutan Sharir, a new body. Text 7. So we see lots of paraphernalia was there for the sacrifice, and everyone was Brahmanas, Devatas, they were sacrificing animals, and there was so many things were there. And that's when Sri Sati Devi arrived at the house of Daksha. She's saying further, when Sati and her followers reached the arena, because all the people assembled were afraid of Daksha, none of them received her well. No one welcomed her but her mother and sisters, who with tears in their eyes and with glad faces welcomed her and talked with her very pleasingly. When Sati Devi, along with the disciples of Lord Shiva who also accompanied her, reached the arena where the sacrifice was going to take place, because all the people assembled were afraid of Daksha, none of them received her well. Now everybody was afraid of Daksha. Daksha was a powerful man, and they knew Daksha does not like Lord Shiva. And now here is the wife of Lord Shiva, so they didn't know how to react, so they just kept quiet. They did not give any special welcome, honor to Sri Sati Devi because they did not know whether this was pleasing to Lord Shiva or not. No one welcomed her but her mother and sisters, who, with tears in their eyes and with glad faces, welcomed her and talked with her very pleasingly. Only Sri Sati Devi's mother and her sisters, they spoke to her. They had washed her hair and everything. They were ready. They received her, the sisters and the mother. But Sri Sati Devi was not respected by the Brahmanas and other powerful sages who had assembled for the yajna, because she was the wife of Lord Shiva. Purport. The mother and sisters of Sati could not follow the others who did not receive Sati very well. They did not receive Sati properly. Only her mother and sister did. Prabhupada says women are very soft-hearted. They're very soft-hearted, Prabhupada says. So we should therefore utilize our soft-heartedness in the service of Sri Krishna. Everything can be used in Krishna's service. So everybody is afraid of Daksha and they did not give any special welcome to Sri Sati Devi. Text 8. सौदर्य संप्रश्न समर्थ वार्तया मात्रा च मात्र्यश्वश्रीभिश्च सादरम् दत्तां सपर्यां वरमासनं च सा नादत्त पित्रा प्रतिनन्दिता सती. Although she was received by her sisters and mother nicely, she did not reply to their words of reception. Although she was offered a seat and different gifts, presents, Shri Satidevi did not accept anything. For her husband neither talked with her nor welcomed her by asking about her welfare. Father also neglected Shri Sati Devi. Sati Devi had done. Sati Devi came and she was not received properly by Daksha Prajapati. Although she was received by her sister and mother, she did not reply to their words of reception. Because she wanted her father, who is the head of the Sabha, to recognize her, receive her, but he did not do that. Only the mother and sisters did. She was offered a place to sit down, she was offered some gifts, but she did not accept them. Then she looked at her father, Daksha. Father neither talked with her nor welcomed her by asking about her welfare. He was not concerned. So Sati Devi went to the house of Daksha but did not eat anything there. विषयर अन्न खाइले दुष्ट है मन. दुष्ट मन नहीं है श्री कृष्ण स्मरण. Sati did not accept the greetings offered by her sisters and mother, for she was not at all satisfied by her father's silence. Father was just not acknowledging her, and that silence was very painful for Sati Devi. Text 9. Arudra तमवेक्ष चाद्वरम पित्रा च देवे कृतहेलनं विभौ अनादृता यज्ञ सदस अधीश्वरी चुकोपलोकान इव दक्षतीरुषा. Present in the arena, Sati saw that there were no oblations for her husband Lord Shiva. They are giving oblations to all the demigods, but they are neglecting Lord Shiva. Shri Sati Devi noticed that. Next, she realized that not only had her father failed to invite Lord Shiva, but when he saw Lord Shiva's exalted wife, Daksha did not receive her well either. Hare Krishna. Thus she became greatly angry, so much so that she looked at her father as if she were going to burn him with her eyes. First, she became angry at Lord Shiva for not giving permission. Now, having come here, father has not received, so now she is angry with her father. Hare Krishna. Chu Kopa. She got angry. Kopa means anger. Just because father was not glorifying Lord Shiva, he was not offering any share in the sacrifice to Lord Shiva, he was not giving any fruits, any hospitality, kind words, time, attention to Lord Shiva. Daksha did not like Lord Shiva and therefore he neglected Sri Sati Devi. Did not receive her well. So Sati Devi became angry. And now she looked at Lord Shiva with angry eyes. Chukopalokan iva dhashyati rusha. Dhakshati rusha. As if with her anger she was going to burn. She did the same thing to Lord Shiva. Looked at him with angry eyes. Now she's looking at angry eyes at her own father. Anger is like a urge, vague. When it comes, then it requires some vent. Sometimes children tell us, Dad, don't vent out your hospital frustration on us. They tell me. Because frustration, anger needs some vent. So it appeared as if Sati was going to vent her anger at her own father. Purport. Srila Prabhupada writes, by offering oblations in the fire while chanting the Vedic mantra Swaha during yajnas we offer, no? Idam Vishnave Nama, Idam Nama. Not for me, this is for Lord Vishnu. Om Vishnave Nama, Swaha, like that we offer. One offers respect to all the demigods, great sages, and pitas, including Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and Lord Vishnu. It is customary that Lord Shiva is one of those who are offered respects. But Sati Devi, while personally present in the arena, saw that the Brahmanas did not utter the mantra offering oblations to Lord Shiva. Namah Shivaya Swaha, like that, they were not. So she felt sad, she was hurt that they are neglecting my husband, they are neglecting me because I am Lord Shiva's wife. So much envy, so much hatred they have. She was very disappointed. Text 10. जगर्ह सामर्ष विपन्नया गिरा शिवद्विषं धूमपथ श्रमस्मयम् स्वतेजसा भूतगणान् समुत्थितान् निगृह्य देवी जगतो विशृण्वतः. The followers of Lord Shiva, the ghosts, were ready to injure or kill Daksha. The disciples of Lord Shiva who were there, Nandi, Maniman, others, they were ready to take revenge because Lord Shiva and Sati Devi were being ill treated, neglected. But Sati stopped them by her order. The followers were about to attack Daksha. How dare you treat Shri Sati Devi like this? How dare you harbor so much envy towards Lord Shiva? How dare you not offer oblations to Lord Shiva? They were about to attack and kill Daksha, but Sati stopped them. Stop, stop, stop. She was very angry and sorrowful. And in that mood, she began to condemn the process of sacrificial fruitive activities and persons who are very proud of such unnecessary, troublesome sacrifices. She especially condemned her father, speaking against him in the presence of all. Generally, a daughter does not criticize her father. Generally, one does not criticize one's superiors. But Sati was so upset with her father, and rightly so. She began to chastise her own father. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says the process of offering sacrifices is especially meant to satisfy Lord Vishnu. Yajnartha karmana. We have to do everything for the sake of Lord Vishnu. He is Yajnesh. He is Yajna Bhuk. He eats what is offered in Yajna, pure ingredients. He is the enjoyer. Ahami sarva yajnanam bhokta cha guruvarevacha. Bhoktaram yagatapasam sarva loka maheshwara. But here is Daksha, such a great leader, and he is neglecting Lord Shiva because of personal enmity. He is the greatest Vaishnava, Vaishnava Namatha Shambhu. And Srila Prabhupada says that Lord Shiva is considered the foremost personality among Vaishnavas, Vaishnava Namatha Shambhu. Thus, when Sri Sati saw that her father, Daksha, was performing great sacrifices but had no respect for Lord Shiva, she was very angry. This is fitting, Srila Prabhupada says. Appropriately, she got angry. When Vishnu or Vaishnava is insulted, one should be angry. Krodha Bhakta Dveshi Jane, Sri Narottam Thakur has said, Prabhupada is quoting, that we can use our anger towards the Bhakta Dveshi Jan, those who are offenders to the Lord's devotees. Against them we can demonstrate anger sometimes. How Hanumanji demonstrated anger towards Ravan and his followers, or how Arjun demonstrated anger towards the Kauravas. Thus, Sati's anger against her father was quite applaudable, Srila Prabhupada says. Haribol. Text 11. Devi Uvacha means Devi Uvacha. Who is Devi? Shri Sati Devi. न यस्य लोके अतिशायनः प्रियस्तथा प्रियो देहभृतां प्रियात्मनः तस्मिन् समस्तात्मनि मुक्तवैरके ऋते भवन्तं कतमः प्रतीपयेत्. The blessed goddess Sri Sati Devi said, Lord Shiva is the most beloved of all living entities. She begins by glorifying her husband. He is Priya, he is very dear. He is most beloved of all living entities. He has no rival. No rival. Ati Shayana. Ati Shayana. There is no rival. No one is very dear to him and no one is his enemy. He is equiposed. Equiposed. No one but you, O Father, could be envious of such a universal being who is free from all enmity. Mukta Vairake. Lord Shiva is described as Mukta Vairake, one who is free from Vair Bhavana, one who is free from enmity. He is not envying anybody, but Daksha is envying Lord Shiva. And Sati Devi criticizes her father by saying, no one other than you could be envious of Lord Shiva or be an enemy of Lord Shiva. You are the only one. Otherwise, Lord Shiva is everyone's friend. So we'll stop here. We did 11 verses. We'll continue from 12th verse, Krishna willing, next session. I'm sorry, dear devotees, I was having little lapse of proper consciousness in the class. I slept very late last night and had a very busy day today. So please forgive me, I'm not most alert, feeling very sleepy. Yes, Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you so much Prabhuji for this very, very wonderful class. Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, lastly, we were reading the last line from 10th shloka purport. Srila Prabhupada was telling that thus Sati's anger against her father was quite applaudable because it was against a greater Vaishnava like Lord Shiva, and it is not for herself thing, it is on other devotees' purpose, it is applaudable. But we have also heard that a devotee is very peaceful, takes everything as by the will of the providence, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma. So, how is this anger approved and is transcendental? Can you please explain?
Yes, as Srila Prabhupada explained in the purport, Srila Narottam Das Thakur says that the anarthas can be, except envy, all the anarthas can be used in Krishna's service. In Prem Bhakti Chandrika, Srila Narottam Das Thakur Mahashaya has written that envy has no place, but other anarthas, they can be used in Krishna's service. Anger can be used. And he says, Krodha Bhakta Dveshi Jane. You apply your anger towards those who are Bhakta Dveshi, those who are envious of the Vaishnavas. Now, Sri Sati Devi is getting angry at Daksha because Daksha is openly inimical and envious of the greatest personality, Lord Shiva. And Sri Sati Devi is emotionally involved with Lord Shiva as her beloved husband, Priya. And anger, according to Srila Rupa Goswami, is that burning feeling in the heart when someone you love or you yourself are ill-treated. That is the definition of anger. So here Lord Shiva is very dear to Sri Sati Devi. Lord Shiva has been neglected and ill-treated and even insulted, cursed. So Sri Sati Devi is not finding any happiness. In fact, she's feeling anger towards her father because he has committed Vaishnava Aparadha. So that is okay. one can exhibit anger towards the Vaishnava blasphemers. That is okay occasionally. Is that okay, Mataji? Where is Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji?
That,
Ha.
yes, yes, Prabhuji. Is it okay or is it perfect?
See, it is like this. Was Bhim justified in saying that I will drink the blood from the heart of Dushasan? How many of you have drunk the blood of a human being? We are Vaishnavas, or we are trying to be Vaishnavas. Shri Bhimsen also is Vaishnava. But Shri Bhimsen said, I will drink the blood from the heart, directly squeeze. How you squeeze a mango and drink mango pulp? He wants to squeeze the heart of Dushasan and drink that blood. Ah, like that directly. Was that justified or not? Bhagavati Sudhamataji, what do you think? What is your opinion?
That is his expression, but it is not, he's not actually going to do that. But
Oh, he did it.
he's-
Bhim drank blood on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. He actually ripped open the chest of Dushasan, plucked out his heart, and squeezed that heart and drank the hot, fresh blood. Now I'm awake. अभी बहुत नींद आ रही थी but now you brought me to Kurukshetra. Mahabharata. He actually did it. So this is the point. Before I fall asleep again, is Bhim justified in making? Does a Vaishnava normally talk like this? Even a Kshatriya. I don't think Maharaj Prataprudra ever drank or Shivaji Maharaj drank the blood from somebody's heart. But Bhim said it and did it. So now let's go back to Kuru Sabha. Just now there was attempt to disrobe Shri Draupadi Devi. Bhim is angry and Bhim says, I will drink the blood from the heart of Dushasan. Duryodhan, I will break your thigh. And all you other 98 pests, I will kill all of you. All 100 brothers will die at my hands. Now, Bhim is angry. Bhim is justified in saying this. But the question is, was all this necessary? If Yudhishthir Maharaj had not accepted the proposal for gambling, none of this would have happened. Draupadi would never have been touched by Dushasan if Yudhishthir Maharaj had not gambled her away. Correct? It was an avoidable situation. So, to answer your question, Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, was Sati justified or was it applaudable getting so angry at her father, Daksha Prajapati? Answer is yes. But did it really have to come to this? No. If Sati Devi would have heeded the recommendation, the advice of her husband, Lord Shiva, and stayed at home, none of this would have happened. So, was it avoidable? Was it preventable? Yes. But then, in the totality of the situation, was it justified now? Yes. Now it is justified, but it should not have reached this point. She should never have. Is that make sense? Bhim is justified in saying that I will drink the blood from Dushasan's chest, but it should not never have gotten that far. Yudhishthira Maharaj should have never accepted the proposal to gamble. And definitely he should not have gambled his brothers. He should have stopped. Money is gambled away, all the money is lost. That's okay. Stop. No more. Oh, put your brothers. No. Nonsense. Nobody puts brothers as a gambling bet. Put your wife. No, I will not. So one has to put one's foot down and say no. And Yudhishthira Maharaj very mercifully has agreed to become an example, playing the role that we have to learn. Gambling is such an addiction that we fall down, fall lower down. further down, further down, further down, further down, to such a low level that we gamble away one's own wife. That is the lesson from this. All these addictions, they are not going to stop. More, 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 more. It's like a poison ivy itch. It only grows. The more you scratch it, the more it grows. So Sati is justified. Sati had no choice but to get angry. What could Sati do? When she's seeing such behavior, such neglect of her husband, such offense against her husband has been criticized, husband has been cursed, husband has been neglected, and still Daksha is clearly harboring enmity towards Shiva, the way he's treating Sati. After all this, Sati has no choice but to get angry. But it should never have reached this point. Sati should not have come there in the first place. Like Yudhishthira should not have gambled in the first place. Does that make sense, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. The devotee should be intelligent enough to see the future and take decisions and avoid such situations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What's such
Thank
situation? Hare Krishna.
you.
Anyone else has any? Shamchandra Prabhu, so happy to have your darshan, have your association. Hare Krishna. Keshavada Prabhu, I should have heeded your advice. It should never have reached this point. I should have heeded your advice yesterday. Prabhuji also was telling me I should take a rest early. But I did not listen to Keshavada Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you very much, dear devotees. I am so happy to have your association. Now, all of you take rest. It's exactly 9:30. Please take rest. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Tomorrow we will meet at 4:30 for japa. And please say Hari Bol. So I will get Krishna consciousness.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Prabhuji,
Prabhuji.
Namaskar.
Thank you.